Hey everybody, Joseph Palumbo here again. So in the first video, we created a spreadsheet, which is pretty basic, and I'm sure it didn't surprise anybody. But in this next movie, we're going to start adding some conditional formatting. Now, what that's going to do for you is it's going to color code a lot of these cells based on what value is put into them, which as either a CSM or a customer success leader or manager, it's going to allow you to kind of glance at this and just visually get an idea of the health of your overall customer portfolio. And it's actually a really cool tool, and it's actually pretty easy to use. So let's start off with column F here. So this is the engagement type, whether it was reactive or proactive. And what I like to do, and what I'm currently doing in my CSM tracker, is I'm going in here, I'm using this conditional formatting. And what I'm doing is I'm putting if text contains, so in this case, proactive, that's a good thing, that's what I want. I'm going to put that green, and I'm going to add another rule for reactive, and I'm going to put that yellow. Done. So great. So now when I look at it, I can just look at this column and kind of see where my focus is at. Are we basically playing defense? Are we just responding to a lot of tickets and phone calls coming from our customers? Or are we starting to get in front of things? Are we starting to identify problems before they happen? Are we reaching out for our monthly account reviews? Are we looking for upsell and cross-sell opportunities? Things of that nature. So this is really helpful too. Another good one here is customer health. So this is probably one of the most important indicators for a CSM or for a customer success leader. And I'm going to pretty much do the same thing. I'm going to highlight this field. I'm going to use my conditional formatting, and it's going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to put if text contains good. Let's keep that green. If it's unknown, I'm going to make that yellow. Add one more rule. We're going to put that churn risk, we're going to make that red. And unfortunately, for churning, I'm going to use a custom color here. I want that to be gray. Done. So this is good right here. So I can actually look and see exactly what's going on. So let's say, for example, if it's been a while since we talked to Dunder Mifflin, or they had a major reorg and none of our contacts are there, and so it's a whole new crew coming in. I may want to move them to unknown, so we need to figure out and do some homework on them. Likewise, if we talk to Stark Industries and they went from churn risk, they were perhaps maybe not paying their bills on time, or they had a lot of support issues that went a little bit too long, but we talk with them and things are going good, we can move them back to good. And let's say we spoke with Acme Corp, and Acme is now saying, hey, you know what, we're actually going to look somewhere else. We're going to move them to churn risk. So at any given moment, you can actually look and see what's going on. And of course, here for LexCorp, they're on their way out. So they're grayed out. So we know that they're churning, and we can treat them as such. So this makes it really easy to kind of look on how much green, how much yellow, and how much red is on your spreadsheet. And we're going to do the same thing with MRR trend. So probably no surprises here at this point. We're going to go back to conditional formatting, and I'm going to go ahead and put if text contains up, that's going to be green. If it's same, it's going to be, you guessed it, yellow. And if it's going to be down, we're going to make that red. Done. Great. So now we actually have, a lot of the proverbial green, yellow, and red kind of telling us what's going on. Now, the tricky one here is column G, the last engaged. This is the one that tells us how long it's been since we last spoke to that customer. I don't like to go more than, depending on the circumstances, 30 or 60 days since our last engagement. You don't want to go too long. So what I tend to do with this one's a little bit tricky. It took me a while to find a method that I feel comfortable with. I'm going to add a rule, and what I'm going to put here is between. And I'm going to use Google Sheets built-in today function. If it's between today and today minus 30 days, that's going to be green. But if it's today minus 31 days to, let's say, today minus 60 days out, I want this to be red. We'll keep it really, really simple. And actually, let's go ahead and move this to 90. And so now, based on the date, I can look here and I can see how long it's been since we last spoke with this customer. So in this case, LexCorp, you can see we haven't spoken with them in a while. But if I went up there and updated, and let's say we spoke with them today, it's going to go green. Likewise, if I see here, if I'm a CSM and I'm coming in and I notice that one of my customers is in the red currently, I'm probably going to want to reach out to them. So I can go ahead and click on this, put in today's date, the 15th, and once again it goes back to green. And as the days go, it will automatically change the color as it goes from 30 days to 60 days to 90 days to over 90 days. And this is all defined by the conditional formatting rules that you actually put in place. So while it doesn't seem like much, it's actually really cool just to look on here and be able to see at a glance, just based on the colors, where we're currently at right now. Whether it's going to be that everything's predominantly green, meaning that we're reaching out proactively. We've talked to our customers in the last 30 or so days. Most customers are customer health equals good, and their MRR is going up. We want to keep this as green as possible. So just like I said in the previous film, this makes it very glanceable, or very skimmable, if you will. So you can take a look at this, and everybody kind of knows what's going on with the account portfolio. That's useful, but what's even more useful is to have a separate tab with very specific metrics that are pulled from the information that's being put into here, and that's what we're going to do in the next film.